Hello, SpeedGaming. Welcome to another lovely match in our Metroid Prime Randomizer Mentor Tournament 2024, a first of its kind. Today we've got Amojini versus cloudwrath. These folks will be kicking off just shortly as we let them go now. Our normal tournament preset, no RAs, so just your standard match. And so we'll be seeing our classic space jump first. So both of our runners have been practicing their dashes. Looks like Amojini's got a first try, cloudwrath's got a give a second attempt, but it is okay. Amojini looks like tried to go a little fast there with the dash to the left, but fell off, which is all right. But that is part of the risk. Of course, knowing how to move sideways through every room is valuable information, but is also quite difficult. We're so conditioned to use our eyes to see. Looks like we've got two sets of E-tanks near landing site, so we got a pretty healthy seat. Sure, more ball can't be far away. But with nothing in alcove, that means we'll be heading right into Chozo. It was dash off the Sapsack, and then cloudwrath also getting the dash off the Gamer. That is correct move there. If you get a good dash off those two, you can make it pretty far through Canyon. Let's dash off the pillar there. Oh, both runners doing that. Excellent. So it looks like we've got based on these first few rooms, a fairly balanced match. We'll see how that plays out in the later game when we start getting a few more of our movement upgrades. We've also got just a few missiles and main plaza, it looks like, so we're definitely heading towards Hive Totem for our first upgrade. Power Bomb and Ruin Nursery. Now that could be strong. It's a little out of the way, depending on when we get bombs and morph, unless of course we want to get gallery tunnel at the same time. But an early power bomb is very strong in that it'll allow us to open up quite a few checks before we find those mains, because they can be hidden, as we've seen with some of the past matches. And we see here Amojini going to pick up a vanilla missile launcher. And a vanilla E-tank. Excellent. So let's see cloudwrath pull off the same maneuver. Oh, unfortunately, got caught on the standable, and just the way they moved them into the trigger. So is going to lose a little bit of time here fighting Hive Mecha. Did get the dash though, so it's unfortunate to see, but it does happen. We have seen all sorts of players hit that Hive totem trigger, and then Morph Ball on Amojini's in the what is this gallery, Rune Gallery. Yeah, there we go. So with Morph Ball in hand, I'm going to bet that progression wants us to go deeper into Chozo. And that is one of our first artifacts sitting there in Rune Shrine. Not going to get it now, because we don't have a really good way of escaping without doing the full beetle fight. There is an NSJ escape, but it can be a little bit cumbersome. And it looks like we might go for the gallery tunnel peak here, which I like. Fortunately, didn't turn quick enough to see the item, but the process was correct. Yeah, going through Vault isn't a bad call just to get the information, because none of our players are going to see that. And there's really nothing... yeah, the only thing, though, if you went through Vault from transport access, it is kind of a long way, and you know it's nothing that you can get right now since we're still missing those bombs. But Amojini deciding to head to Transport Tunnel B first. I think you do this on the way back from Artifact Temple and Frigate Crash Site. But we'll see. Artifact of Warrior. It's our first collected artifact. So we know we got two relatively free ones. We'll see if our usual Menti curse is going on, where required Omega Pirate will pop up. And Cloudwrath grabbing their first artifact. So yeah, the item in Frigate Crash Site, it cannot be our progression currently with our loadout. We'd need either Grapple Beam or Space Jump. But we do have access to the information, so it's not a bad idea to check it out. But you do have to kind of be comfortable with the underwater slopes. Oh, and that is a Varia suit, I believe. That is a Varia suit. Okay. So that could be a good get. Now, that being said, it is out of logic. Oh, making short work of that NSJ slope jump. Very good. So if Varia is our next, or like our later progression, that means we're going to be probably finding grapple or space jump fairly soon. Which it could be on Artifact Temple, but my guess is we're probably going to see it later in Chozo, with that morph being our last progressive item. Progression item. Progressive items are a different thing. But making our way to Artifact Temple. And I got to imagine we'll pick up the extra E-tank behind the ship on the way out. Bombs in Artifact Temple. Interesting. So both players will only have to scan 5 hints. Actually, cloudwrath only has to scan 2, so let's see what our remaining artifacts are. Dynamo, so upper or lower, interesting. Ruined Shrine, we knew that. Tower Chamber, okay. Life Grove, so that's a boost ball requirement. And Security Cave, we've already got the last one. So pretty good artifacts. They're only really locked by a couple items, and they're not too deep in the game. So I can imagine we'll probably see a Phazon suit hint play if either of our runners don't find it on the way. So it looks like Amojini's forgot the E-Tank behind the ship, which is okay. 2 E-Tanks for the early game isn't bad, but it's there. I can imagine if they remembered, they would have picked it up. And now we head back into Chozo. Because while we could take the Varia suit into Magmor, we know that it's not in logic still. So there's still something missing from our bombs get. Now, I think if you're Amogini, what you would do is grab the Ruin Gallery item into Vault after this, and then head into Mid-Chozo. On our right side, it looks like Cloudwrath is going to get a glimpse of that Varia suit. We'll see if they can pick it up early. And we're going to try to peek the upper Ruin Shrine item, which can be a bit tough, but couldn't quite get a glimpse of that, but who knows. Cloudwrath, very nice with the NSJ slope as well, picking up that Varia suit. Oh yes, good point. As well, going this way, we can pick up that free power bomb expansion. Now the fight trigger's still there for Amogini, so we'll have to do the dash. And it looks like they opted not to pick up that PB expansion, which is got chat confused. It's got me confused as well. I would have definitely taken the time to pick that up. That is a worthwhile grab, especially if you're passing through that room again. Just a missile and vault. We'll be skipping that. but a free missile on our way out. Very nice. Just going to use this little pebble to slope jump up here. Shaves a few seconds off of this room, which is always nice. We've got a missile in the fountain, so not missing anything there. Nicely rolling through this room. And we're going to attempt an L jump. Oh, nope. Maybe just a dash. There we go. L jump is a little tight there, so the dash is pretty free if you can find that lock on pretty quickly. And it looks like cloudwrath opted to also not pick up the PB, so definitely an interesting call from both these runners and their mentors. That is a wave beam. Okay. There's an interesting grab. What does wave beam do for us? And why was it placed there of all places? Unfortunate slip, but is going to peek the item down here. And it's super missile. Oh boy. So this is a good time to know that NSJ underwater bit. But at the same time, could also be rewarded with an SJ behind these bombs. We need a way to get gravity suit before we, or not gravity suit, various suit before we start really exploring the rest of the map. So we gotta find some form of movement in these next couple rooms. Yeah, one of the dynamo items is an artifact. It is the top one, so we will likely be seeing a required spider ball. There is a way to skip it, but at this level, likely not going to be seeing some of those advanced strats. That being said, a lot of the mentees have learned a lot over these last couple weeks, so we can always be surprised, pleasantly surprised. Looks like Amojini not going to be picking up the super missiles at this moment. We know we do have to come back with Spider Ball for the Dynamo artifact. There's only a few more spots that our movement system can be. Unless we get some more funny items on the way. But we're going to see either space jump or grapple beam for that Varia to be put in logic. There's only, what? Zoid and item behind here, and then the lower furnace item, realistically, that we can get with our current itemization. And there's our boots. Very good. So I gotta imagine that we'll probably pick up those supers on the way back. We'll get the supers. We can check tree on the return trip. And then we can also head into Magmor. I want to say they're probably not going to do plant at this point. There's not a whole lot of incentive to do that boss right now, especially with the risk of leaving ghosts behind. I can imagine our mentors will probably be advising against that. Yeah, one of the questions I'm interested in is, will Amojini continue into Furnace and perhaps towards Antechamber? Antechamber and Vanilla Ice is really bad. And right now we're on this far side of Chozo, and there's not a ton of incentive to go all the way through it again. So what we could do is make our way over to Reflecting Pool and take the save warp back. But it looks like, based on the way they're going for their items, that they're just going to peek this upper furnace item. And it looks like Crossway as well. I thought they had grabbed the lower furnace item on the way back if they were just doing the peak here, but maybe they're doing Crossway as well. See, at this point, I think the dive is enough to say keep going forwards, at which point it would be better to grab that lower furnace item. But yeah, it does look like they are heading back. There is no ice door in the way. It's totally possible for them to get to Antechamber right now. Cloudwrath in the Incinerator Drone fight has their space jump. Has their nothing. Thank you, camera. So, looks like both players have now synced up here in Watery Hall, going to grab their supers. At this point, I believe they've got to be heading back to the front of Chozo. Check the tree, check Tower of Light. We know there's an artifact in Tower Chamber. We can finally clean up that ruined shrine area. And it looks like they're now picking up that power bomb. So likely forgot about it earlier. Which is okay, it happens. Gonna be good to have it now. Oh, there's also power bomb on the ledge there, so that maybe that's why they skipped it. They were just thinking they could pick up the PB later on in the main plaza. Which isn't terrible thinking, but one PB is tough to manage in some spots. Thankfully, we're still fairly early game, so not a whole need for PBs right now. But 2 will put Amojini in a comfortable position, has that spare to work with. Okay, grapple beam in Ruined Shrine. So now that's pointing me towards Magma Pool now. Unfortunately, both players bonking their head on the tree root there. You got to go a little bit farther left with that jump to this standable here. But both making a swift recovery. And let's see how both of our runners fare with Tower of Light. Amojini opting to just peek the item, so this could save them some time. That's just a missile. So yeah, that's it can be a good call, especially depending on a player's comfortability with the dashes. If they think it's going to be a tough time to do the skips, then you may opt to just do that first layer and peek the item with the cutscene. But that is artifact number 3 for both runners. While we're there, I'm going to switch audio over to cloudwrath. Going to be hearing much of the same thing since our runners have been following in each other's footsteps. But we'll continue on. But yeah, training chamber access is a good call with Varia and Wave. And especially since we've got that one, those power bombs, we can check magma pool as well and get the peak on training chamber itself. So you're not really missing out on anything by going back for this. So I would definitely recommend it. So cloudwrath opting to do the peak as well. Gonna learn that it's not worth it. We'll be taking off. And we'll be getting our peak of training chamber, and it is nothing. So now it looks like Ammo's going to be heading, kind of much to be heading into Magmoor and going to take the Lava Lake side from Vault, which I agree with. It looks like both runners are actually making the same play. We've got a sync up yet again. However, as chat pointed out, cloudwrath is missing a single PB, so a bit unfortunate, especially as we start heading into Magmoor. There's a couple of powerbomb checks that would be really nice to get out of the way early. So not having a powerbomb here is actually, it could be quite detrimental. So we haven't found main PBs, but there was a free PB in Ruined Nursery on through the bomb puzzle, and there was another PB on the main plaza grapple ledge. So Ammo decided to pick up both. cloudwrath was not able to pick up either, so there's a slight advantage to Ammo going into this section. Nice dash off the Grisby, I think. Yeah, good music. Get your cat jams in chat. And a Wave Buster in Lava Lake. At least we got Wave Beam to use it, but I don't think either runner will be using Wave Buster, sadly. Very healthy seed. That is a spider ball? That is a spider ball. In Storage Cavern. Storage Cavern because it's in Magmoor Caverns. So that spider is good, as we'll need it for Upper Dynamo Artifact. It'll also be good heading into Vendrana here because Ice Ruins East will be able to grab that item if it is anything. Yes, Storage Cave is far Vendrana. Storage Cavern is in Magmore Caverns. Storage Cave is the one locked by the PBs in Farfen. Not to be confused with Security Cave, which is the one at the top Farfen. And that is a boost ball. That is an amazing find and puts Amojini in a very good spot. This is going to help movement a lot and is really going to show over the course of the run. But it is good to note that we won't have boost ball until our main PBs come up, logically. So we can make some assumptions from that. We have no idea where mains are. It'll be it could be very, very late for all we know. And that is unfortunate as well, because if we remember, one of our artifacts is in Life Grove. So we know we've got to get that artifact there. There are bomb jumps to get into Life Grove, but if it's on the spinner, then you also have to know one of two spinner manips, which is just a series of things that could be avoided here if you picked up those early PBs. So definitely would have been worth grabbing those. An unfortunate mistake, but you know, it doesn't spell the absolute end. There's still 2 more PB expansions unaccounted for, and and the main item that could pop up anywhere. Going to see the peak on Chozo Ice Temple. It is a missile. Fairly easy peak to learn. There is a lineup, and the item is pretty clear. It's not immediately obvious on screen until you've seen it the first time, but appears right about through the kind of like the danger part of the HUD. And there's our main PBs. Okay, so that is a real big bailout for cloudwrath. We'll be able to pick up those that boost ball in a little bit. Kind of unfortunate to route back into Warrior Shrine after this, but you know, at least they'll have some PBs. I don't hate this from Amojini. It's not necessary for them to pick up main PBs. They know that PBs are in logic now, and therefore that boost ball is in logic. Skipping that fight is going to save them about 3 or 4 minutes. Well, I guess if they used a PB on the adult Shigoth, but it would be helpful later on if we have to do a lot of mines. But with how early artifacts are, I'm assuming we're going to be seeing a little bit less of mines than we have been in some of these other previous tournaments. You had to point it out, didn't you? You had to point it out. Now I can't unsee it. So Amojini is taking a save here, which is fine. I'd recommend saving, even if you don't have to, even if you're not thinking of like a pivot save or anything else. Saving can be strong in case you accidentally catch yourself somewhere, or you just crash. We've seen it happen before. It's happened to me. Just save every once in a while. Save yourself a lot of heartache. It's a lot better to have saved and not need it than to have not saved and needed it. Nice. So checking Ice Runs West after Fen Canyon. Correct routing decision. That was a flamethrower in there. I can imagine we're not going to see validation today. But Cloudwrath on the right, most definitely picking up those main PBs. And hopefully going to route towards Boost Ball after. And then they can dip back in to Fendrana to finish this off. Because the thing is, without Boost, there's not much more you can do in this direction. You can do Courtyard, you can do Hydra with, since we do have Spider Ball. But after that, you're going to be going out of logic if you continue further into Labs. So with that Boost Ball, we do know that all of Labs is in logic. So heading in now for Amojini is definitely the correct call. So for the Shigoth fight, you can power bomb, or not power bomb, you can bomb underneath it, but then afterwards, once the adult Shigoth fires the Ice Breath at you, there's a little bit of a cooldown animation, and you can spam missiles into the side of its neck, like right here, and it'll do a bunch of damage. It's got a weak point on the side of its neck. So just kind of strafe around to the side, and that will be good. And as Ammo runs into Lab Hydra here, we do have our super missiles, so we can check this item on this pass, which is awesome. We love a full clear of labs. And that is a big ol' lemon for Cloudwrath. So let's see if Cloudwrath heads to the left out of here. If they do, then that is excellent. Oh, very good. Very good on the right side there. Mentee, mentors, whoever's decision that is to head back in, check Warrior Shrine. Good call. You're not Warrior Shrine, but Upper Fiery Shores. You know what I meant. I know you know. I have faith. And now for a notorious dash to learn. Observatory. While it's not that bad and is classed as intermediate, it is one of the first dashes when learning this game that can cause beginners trouble due to the fact that you actually need to get a good B press. And there we go, got it. It can be a little bit problematic for some, but these runners have all been practicing and should all know how to do this at this point. Now just using a slope jump here to get up to the pipe. There we go. And opting to grab this other power bomb expansion. Now that we've got 3, then any others can really be skipped, and yeah, definitely save time doing the Sheogoth, skipping the Sheogoth fight. So there we go. We now have knowledge on all of our beam combos. And nicely skipping the trigger as well by Amojini. So very good. Cloudwrath just taking some time to get up on it. Get over to Magmar. Oh, and doing an R jump there. Very nice. We'll be rewarded shortly with the boost ball. And we'll be very happy to see that this was the correct play. I'm sure both of them in that voice chat will be very happy with their decision. Now, ideally, we find our ice beam here, so that we can continue on through labs. If we don't find anything, I don't remember if Emo took one of the saves. I think we saved back in Shorelines. So maybe that's what that was for. Ice beam in Research Core, though. So of course, right at the end, but that does allow us to continue on our way through Farfen. One on your left. There you go. Let's get out of here. Now with Ice Beam in hand, we've got quite a few options. This is our mid to late game opener. And doing Farfen now is definitely a good choice. Unfortunately, with our artifact in storage cave, yes, it is locked behind plasma. So unless plasma kindly appears in front of us, we might be double dipping into Farfen. Let's see the boosting through this tunnel. I don't know if we're getting a good look at that flamethrower. Alrighty. We will see. Lovely R jump across here. And we'll check out. Oh, did I get my rooms backwards? There's our artifact. Alright, well. Ignore my previous comment about needing plasma beam. Either I misremembered the artifact hint, or my room names were bad. Either or a possibility. With probably a stronger possibility of the latter. With that, we will check out Gravity Chamber. And cloudwrath, not too far behind. We'll be heading into lab soon. So we got a nothing. And what's down there? Something unimportant to us. Oh yeah. Okay, it was Storage Cave, but yeah, Storage Cave is at the top. Security Cave is the one with all the requirements to get in. Right. There's something like that. I don't know. There's some way to remember those that I've obviously not remembered, but very good. With this, there is really no reason to come back to Fen. We'll see, probably see, what's it called, Quarantine Monitor on the way out, but we'll probably not see a Thardus fight, I can imagine. Got a good dash there, but unfortunately got kind of stuck. Taking a second to make up their mind if they're going in that elevator. So I think before you head into mines from here, actually, what artifacts do we have left? We've got Life Grove and which other one am I missing? Oh, and Upper Dynamo. So I think you go for Life Grove, and from Life Grove you pick up the back half of Findron, or not, of Chozo into Upper Dynamo. You take the save warp in Gathering Hall and end up back at landing site. You fight Ridley for the Phazon suit hint, and then hope you find Plasma along the way. My guess would be that Phazon and Plasma are probably hiding out in mines. Would be my theory. But we definitely do need Plasma. So just getting the hint is a good indicator of where to start looking, but is not enough for us to just beat the game once we find that suit. Vanilla Plasma would be mean, but it is entirely possible. With Ice Beam being our last beam, that is usually not good. We like to see Plasma be before Ice Beam in general because of how much Ice Beam unlocks. So in an ideal world, we see Plasma pop up on our way through hint cleanup or on our hunt for Phazon suit. If you show me a way to get to PCA without Plasma Beam, I will tickle me impressed. No. Nice ice-colored Metroid. Not going for Life Grove here. That is a choice that I disagree with. And Cloudwrath has spotted the Ice Beam in labs. So yeah, both runners following a fairly similar routing. Just that delay in the power bombs really gave Ammo a fairly substantial lead. That being said, with the ability for Plasma to be just about anywhere past ice, um, we are that we could see some differences in routing that rewards one player over the other. It's definitely not callable at this time. But yeah, if you're on Okay, so they went to get Hall the Elders first. That's a weird call. No matter what, do Life Grove first because then you can full clear on your way back to get to. You get your artifact, and then you get Upper Dynamo. You save warp on the way out. Yeah, it looks like there's some discussions happening on the left side here. It looks like cloudwrath's taking a bit of a detour for an extra E-tank. Or perhaps not. Just maybe didn't get a good look at the item before. Chat asking if Hall of the Elders was not important. It was a missile, so unless you count a little bit of extra ammo as not important or as important, then no, it was unfortunately not important. And there's our second last artifact. Just another missile. Do you know a website or resource? Heck yeah, I do. So first of all, if you're using Randomizer to play your randomizers, you can use the data visualizer to check all the logic and see all the videos. But another friendly site that you can use, Meepy has just posted in chat, randomania.org/game/prime1/videos. There's also one for Echoes, I believe. So that link has all the exported videos that are in the database currently, which there are a ton of them. So you should be able to find what you're looking for. You can also always ask in the Metroid Prime Randomizer Discord, which is linked now. Awesome. Yes, I would definitely recommend joining the server. There's a whole. Yes, it sounds like you've played quite a long time ago. I am familiar with that version as well. There have been monstrous changes to the randomizer. So, a lot of new features, lots of new tech, a lot more user friendly as well. So, yes, please check out the NPR Discord and as well the Randovania Discord, which is what powers this tournament. And yeah, always ask for help if you need some, because there's tons of folks who are always available. But it looks like Ammo is now ready to head to Upper Dynamo. Oh, I thought we were gonna see the alternate secret tunnel. that tunnel never gets love. Um, and Cloudwrath is also heading to Reflecting Pool. And if they decide to head straight for Life Grove here, they could save a bit of time on the routing. Yeah, so just like that, they've probably saved a good like a minute or two. As long as like things go well and their movement is fairly clean. But it looks like both these runners have been pretty consistent at their level throughout the course of the run. And this will be our last artifact for Amojini. That will be surely a save warp in Gathering Hall for a hint play. Chat talking about visor logic. It should be noted that both visors are also logically required for the essence fight. So that is another thing. So they're definitely somewhere. And here we get the save and the warp. Now, one of the best and worst places it could be, I suppose, is Fendrana, because we know exactly where the suit is. We know it's on Thardis. It's bad because that means that we don't have any many checks on the way to look for plasma other than vanilla, which it totally could be. But then after that, you'd likely head into mines from Magmoor Workstation and take a look through there. How can it be in Security Cave, given that it is a plasma door? Oh, you mean Phazon suit can be in... Never mind. Apologize. I was just thinking about plasma itself. Chat delay got the thing going. Yep, no, you are right. Phazon suit could be in Security Cave. I was saying Phazon and Plasma, and my train of thought moved, but anyways, yes. I was wrong. Let's check out this Ridley fight. Use some boost to get rid of the flying phase, and just some missile spam to finish it off. And we're getting dashes now, everyone's favorite. Hopefully Amojini's been practicing their manual aiming. Opting to use the Wave Buster. Nice. Wow. An unironic use of the Wave Buster. Unfortunately was not able to finish it off. Oh, we got the good cutscene without gravity. And let's check the hint. Phazon suit is in Phazon Mines, as it's supposed to be. So with that, I gotta imagine you head through Magmor, you pick up Plasma Processing on the way, and then you start heading into Mines. Thankfully, Plasma can't be too far. Farthest it can be is MQA. And that being said, Plasma could also just be anywhere else. Doesn't have to be in Mines. Which is unfortunate. But gonna say with our unfortunately missing the grapple there. With our Ice Beam being our last beam, there's a fairly good chance it could be in Mines. Could also be in Frigate if we find Thermal somewhere. Do a little bit of a root cave climb here, or nothing. There is absolutely no reason to check. Well, I guess not. It could be gravity suit, but if it's gravity suit, you know that Plasma's not behind gravity, which actually is a good bit of information. So, MQA also does require X-ray, but I'm assuming we might find a visor at some point. Amojini above the room, so we'll have to morph to drop down. Yeah, there we go. Plasma wouldn't be needed if the runner were to exoskip. False. All the doors in Impreg Crater are plasma doors, so you're gonna need it regardless. Unless you have found a secret world in the first room in Impact Crater, and then could wall crawl the entire thing, you do need plasma. Okay, so Cloudwrath does have their 6th artifact now, and will likely make the same play for the hint. Unfortunate fall. And we'll see how cloudwrath's Ridley fight can go. Has the ability to save some time here. Amojini got quite a few dashes from Ridley, so. Just an E-tank. Unfortunate. Gamer being a little bit mean there. And unfortunately, got to stay in that corner so that you can kind of manipulate Ridley into doing some of the non-dash attacks. So we're getting to see a bunch of dashes from Ridley. A bunch of dashes from Ridley. This is going well though. So there is a free peek for this now. You can just look at the item or where the item would be and shoot a missile, and it will quickly show you the item. Just mention that now because Amojini is now out of PBs, which can become a problem here. So likely heading down first, I'd imagine. But it's kind of unfortunate to do so because, yeah, no. Heading up's definitely the best call because you can't. If plasma's down or if Phazon's down farther, you don't have plasma, then no, keep going up. Do the upper loop first. Because if plasma's not down here, and what's it called? Phazon suits even farther, then that's a lot of backtracking. So I personally would do the upper loop here, but I could always be wrong, and I could just get randoed. So we'll see. And looks like cloudwrath's taking the hint, likely towards lower mines through Magmore as well. One of the few scenarios where you don't see that elite pirate there. So do the maze right now. There's a good chance you're gonna be coming back. Like MQA either has to be plasma or we gotta come back anyways. So I would say just do the maze there. Could not see what that was, but I think they saw that it was a missile. So, gonna head back. And is going to have to fight the drone again. Of course, it's not a long fight, but yep, that's exactly right. That's why we've got to do this, which is why, yeah, doing it on the first time, it's a pretty big gamble, thinking that you're gonna find plasma in MQA, but entirely possible. Would have saved time, but having to get back up the room to trigger the drone again can be annoying. It looks like Cloudwrath is heading towards was heading towards mines, but is opting to do, yeah, they passed by plasma processing at first and are going to check it, which I agree with. Unfortunately, we do know it's nothing, but it's okay. So hot tip, you can just grapple backwards there and make that. Fortunate missile. Drop all the way down and head to Elite Research. Now for some infinite boosting to get through this non-destroyed wall. Very nice. Smart thinking, skipping the door. You're not going to be going back through this way. Likely. Unless this is a plasma beam in this room, but... Yep. There it is. Okay, so that's a great find. Does support my decision to do upper mines first. Now we run into the problem of where is Phazon Suit? Oh, shiny missile. Very cool. Very cool. Fits in with the blue Phazon Elite. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a power bomb here to break that gate. Thankfully, we can peek the room at least, so not the end of the world. But if it is our Phazon suit, it can be a tad bit annoying. Is that just a cosmetic shiny? Yes. And also, no, it's not new. They've been in the game for quite some time. It is a 1 in 1024 chance of any missile to be shiny. Kind of like Pokemon, or I think that's the rate. Maybe it's higher. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, they do nothing. They're just blue missiles. That is all. Alright, well then it's considerably lower than, or considerably higher chances to find a shiny here. That being said, it's still fairly rare. So that is a missile back there. So that's unfortunate. If we need, ideally, Phazon Suit to pop up here in main Quarry, because if not, that means it's in lower mines, which is bad, because we know X-Ray can't be past MQA, which means it's just somewhere in the wild. And if we go farther into mines and it happens to be on OP, we're not going to find X-Ray. So it's a really big gamble. That being said, with the pathing, it seems like they're likely headed back. Which, I gotta say, I don't disagree with. There's nothing. You're pretty much risking, like, searching the rest of the map for X-Ray when Phazon could just be Fungal Hall access. It's a really big commitment. To look around for those visors, but if it's required, then it's required. And let's see if Cloudwrath decides to go up instead of down first. Looks like, yeah, going for Vent Shaft. Very interesting that both sets of teams would opt to go this way, to me at least. What are the checks where Phazon could be that doesn't hard require X-Ray? It's, Yeah, PMT, we would need X-ray just to get there because we need to pass by MQA. So literally everything past MQA, but we know it's phase on suit is past MQA, but we're not going to find X-ray anywhere near there, and logically we'll need X-ray to find to get past there. So skipping it is a big risk because if phase on is vanilla, then we got to go hunting for X-ray somewhere. So we're not going to find it on the way. Okay. Yeah, you thought the beam casino for plasma was bad, but X-ray could be how much worse. Okay, there's platform number 1. Up to not our jump past. Very good. And Cloudwrath heading up to upper mines will likely be picking up their plasma beam shortly. Nice dash up to the 2nd level, and just an E-tank. So we must have seen all of our E-tanks by now. The game has just been handing us E-tanks. Frigate from reverse does not require thermal, so could technically a very mean thing would be reverse frigate for thermal in cargo freight lift as far as it can be with plasma or with X-ray then on THARS. But I have hopes that our runners will find phase-on suit down here. It's not gonna make it. Yeah. Backup strat here, using the standable to reach that. Yes, it would require gravity to go in from reverse. But that could just be anywhere. We could find gravity suit down. Well, I guess not. If it's locking. There's always fairly complicated things that can happen, but why don't we hope the best for our runners, that it's just down here. We won't need an OP seed. We've got this location and MQB. Alright, well. Also, you don't need to power bomb that. You could be trying to kill all the Metroids, which power bomb, of course, will be strong for that, but just a regular bomb breaks that like rubble. Ammo station's behind us. There's not really any need for ammo right now because we're going to be, unless Phazon Suit isn't here, we're going to be leaving. All right, now to see Ammo's strategy of this little tiny peg. Whew, taking a lot of Phazon damage though. Yeah. Hey, cloudwrath sees the shiny missile. Hey, yes, we see it. Okay, so I think cloudwrath fell off of the upper platform when doing the infinite boost in, so is going to need to climb back up to get that plasma, but thankfully won't be missing that check. So that's good. And oh boy, it's missiles. Lots of boxes though. There we go. Just don't miss now. Hey, there it is. The gamble paid off. So with that, it is up to final bosses to decide our winner. It'll be interesting to see if cloudwrath and Mentor make the same decision to make the gamble. They'll find Plasma Beam. They'll definitely do the rest of the upper mines cleanup. Why wouldn't you? But if they decide to leave and look for X-ray, then that would be a different path. But unfortunately, they'll need to. Amojini's got to die pretty late into the final bosses, and without visors, we could see a few pool skips. It could be a longer final bosses fight, but pretty safe at this level of both of these runners. They've both shown quite a bit of skill and competency, so I wouldn't be too afraid of a death here. Might take a little bit longer if we get some pool skips, but they happen. Not having mains, yeah, the extra PBs are nice for killing the Metroids, but ideally if you can just position well, and you might lose a couple of shots for it, but you can just take out the Metroids with Phazon Suit. People rely a lot on using the power bombs, but if you just position well enough, you can use the beam. I've always wondered why they bothered to code the Phazon Suit to work with the pools of essence. Seems like a weird hassle to do when they intended for you to get it to get all the artifacts. I mean, it's a mechanic. Could have something new for the final boss. Besides just be invulnerable to Phazon. Except for red, for whatever reason. I can't remember the lore for that one. But it is what it is. Power into wave is good. Starting wave here is bad. So ideally we want our high damage. We want to alternate high damage beams with low damage beams, starting high, going low, so that we can get the chip damage on the next phase. Because right now we're not going to get a bunch of damage on the wraparound shot here. But now that we've got Ice Spreader, should be pretty easy work this phase. And I imagine we'll likely see another Ice Spreader shot. Oh, nice. So I always do it on the wraparound, but could you actually get a third shot in there? Wow. Yeah, you actually might be able to. But yeah, that's a full phase skip. And we're starting with wave again, which is unfortunate. Yeah, for a really terrible fight, it would need to be a death. Like, even, it would be, cloudwrath's got at least 10, 15 minutes of catch up to do. It would have to be a late death. You'd have to be really trying to have a fight, to stay alive and have a fight go that badly. But with this many E-tanks, I can imagine both our runners are safe. Yeah, and see, like there, we skipped a phase on, a plasma phase, so kind of unfortunate that you skip one of the better phases, but Ice better be strong, so it's fine. So we'll get a shot here. And see, you're seeing a lot of, like, you can get the shot in, but if you just roll under Estance and shoot the Ice Spreader from this side, it's like a guaranteed hit. So that's what I do, that's what I'd recommend, but I've never hit one of the charging. Yeah, see, just like this, except for don't get hit by the leg. There you go. Nice, going back to ice. This is going to be a good fight. We are running out of missiles though, so if they can hit this last charge shot, which they did, nice. No missiles for supers. Shoot a couple more pellets there. No need to charge the beam, just... There you go. And that is Exo done. So if I'm cloudwrath here, I'd probably take the safety save for at least a health refill. Yeah. I think you need to be aiming a little bit more to the right. I think those shots that were arcing left were missing. Yeah, you can see it only did a little bit of damage there. But good to they actually found it while it's invisible. But yeah, unfortunately, just the damage was not there. little bit more damage there, but still not a ton, unfortunately. Now, in this setup of only having one visor, I would like to see the pool conservation for maximum damage. There's no point in doing the animation cancels and getting an earlier pool here. You want to get the most damage. There we go. Very nice. Good call from mentor and mentee, whoever whose idea that was. So at this point, just shoot the rest of the pool in. It's gonna expire soon. Yeah. But there we go. That's a good chunk of the health down. We'll likely need one full round, though, to get back to combat visor. Just a little bit of chip damage. We'll take it. It's a little to the left. Just for right now. A little high, I think. Oh. Alright, so the next pool will likely be the last one. Bit of a slow fight, but consistent and safe. Good rhythm. There we go. That is time. 1:49:49. Get your GGs in chat. Soon we will get a reveal of where our visors were. That's actually a really interesting question. Yeah, scan visor definitely can. But, it's an interesting one. Strong Wyvern, welcome in. GG's. Yes, no visors. We're about to find out here live on stream. I'm just gonna pay attention to credits this time. I usually look away.
Hello.
Welcome in, GG's.
GG's. That was a seed.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was enough seed for 2 seeds.
yeah. Both of you actually made what were pretty close on most things, and your routing was both your routing was pretty similar, as you can see on the stream here. Cloudwrath just heading down towards Phazon suit, also making the gamble that it's not OP or OP locked,
Yep.
because yeah, no visors for that final fight was.
Oh, that's right. I need to check the visor locations where we biohazard containment and elite quarters. Oh my. We were joking in voice chat that it was going to be thermal on OP. And what do you know? It's thermal
So
on OP.
so X-ray was
So
in
wait.
Biohazard, so that means
Yep.
you were logically expected to go in frigate through the back.
Gravity suit and elder chamber. Oh my god, that's terrible. So I was logically required to get plasma, then gravity, then X-ray, then thermal. That is that is really bad. That's
Yeah,
really bad.
yeah,
Oh
which
my
is
god.
why knowing how to skip certain things is very important. Because yeah, both of you being able to skip through MQA and some of the other X-ray um, platforms, yeah, very powerful.
Oh my god. This is one of the worst scenes I've ever seen, logically anyway.
Yeah, specifically that ending. Like most of it wasn't too bad. You were able to read pretty quickly that uh, one of the big points was the when you got towards Fen and you found the boost ball in Upper Fiery Shores, and then you found the main PBs in uh, was it Chapel of the Elders.
Yep.
It was a pretty good sign to head through labs. You found Ice Beam, and you were able to just clean up the rest of the artifacts and get the suit hit. A lot of it played really well, and you both were on track like the entire time. You had both teams had the same way of thinking, but yeah, the end game here was kind of a mess.
Yeah. I was just full clearing everything, like hoping to get a visor. I took a detour to Arbor Chamber, hoping
Hmm.
that at least I could get like a visor out of it. Maybe that could tell me something about where plasma is, or at least speed up, uh, essence. Nope. Man, and I think I saw every single energy tank. Well, I guess I saw almost every
Yeah,
check in the game.
yeah, I think we made that comment too that it was very healthy.
Yeah.
I think there was one that you guys both you didn't pick up that was just behind the ship. You saw it early on
Yeah.
and never came back for it. I was like, huh. I thought could have sworn both these people would go back and grab that, but not the
Yeah,
case.
that by the time it was like in time, we both had like I don't know about cloudwrath, but I had like 5 tanks already. The first time I worked back to start, I already had like 5 tanks. And well, I'm not gonna bother getting that. 5 tanks is fine.
Hmm.
Oh wow, yeah, that ending was a mess. I thought it was gonna be a vanilla plasma.
Yep.
I thought that's what it was gonna be, and then
Yeah, and definitely a good call to pick it up on the way. It's like things are going to be in mines. That's a pretty on the way check. Um, and yeah, that was the one of the questions I had. Both runners ended up doing this. Was both of you went to MQA first. Hold on, did Cloudwrath not pick up?
all right, looks like they're just saving. They're low on
Okay,
health, so maybe they just want
yeah,
that safety
yeah.
save.
That's fair. That's fair. Um,
Oh, did you see when I came into the MQA? I only had 2 missiles.
yeah,
I had to go fill up. I was really worried there.
very generous use of the Wave Buster throughout the run.
Yeah, I'm a big Wave Buster fan.
Yeah, I mean you used it pretty effectively against Ridley to skip using that free aim.
Yep.
But
Oh, that was terrible.
what was I trying to talk? Oh yeah, both runners went to head towards lower mines before picking up plasma, and I was curious what the decision in your mind was to head towards MQA, knowing that that's as far as you can go without plasma?
It was just a gamble, basically. Like, if it is there, then it pays off really well because there's a lot of lot of checks in lower mines that I can get. Um, yeah, and basically, yeah. Going to upper mines to not find anything is really bad because, yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, like lower mines or upper mines has been in logic for a while. And so my thought, I guess, is basically it's not likely that Phase on Suit will be in upper mines because Phase on Suit was probably last thing in logic. And so my thought was Phase on Suit's in lower mines. I'll probably gamble that Plasma is also in lower mines and I'll get it all in one go. And then it turned out that Plasma wasn't. Yeah, it was a bit of a gamble. I think looking back, maybe it would have been better without X-Ray to go to upper mines first, but I don't know.
Cloudwrath, welcome in. GG's.
What's up?
How do you like that seed?
Um,
Yeah, that was my thought too.
Well, wait, there's more to it than you know.
I was liking it until I was not having Phazon or Plasma and looking for Phazon.
Yeah.
Yep.
The end game really threw a wrench into things. It was going so well for both of you.
And then, like,
You want to know? You want to hear where the suits were, or not suits, the visors?
Yeah, I didn't grab either of them.
Yeah, neither did I. Thermal visor, no, X-ray visor in biohazard containment. Thermal visor on OP.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're expected to get plasma, head to Elder Chamber in Chozo to pick up Gravity Suit, head backwards through Frigate to pick up X-ray, and then take X-ray into lower mines. So, yeah, it was quite good that both of you were able to skip the X-ray requirement. Else, we'd still be here for another 20 minutes or so probably. Yeah, it was really both your routing were very similar throughout a lot of the early and mid game. Even up until mines, everything was the same. One hitch that cost Cloudwrath a little bit of time was that Amojini went and picked up a couple of PB expansions in Chozo Ruins, the main plaza, and as well as the Ruin Nursery one, and were able to get the boost ball in Upper Fiery Shores early, whereas Cloudwrath went and grabbed the main PBs in Chapel of the Elders, had a little time loss from the fight of just having to do the fight, and then backtrack to Warrior Shrine. But very good call to backtrack at that point and get the boost ball, because if that had been abandoned, it could have not pointed you towards labs. But you got the boost ball, you went straight into labs afterwards, you caught back up and got on the same path again. It was a very good race to watch.
Yeah, how'd you feel, Ammo, when you were going down mines and you were just like hitting every check and it wasn't Phazon Suit?
Yeah. I was not happy. I heard that you also did lower mines first. I took PPC to lower mines, and I just kind of gambled that I would find Plasma and Phazon in lower mines, and then nothing. Had to go back up to upper mines.
Yeah.
Oof, that was bad.
Yeah, and especially with it Phazon Suit being an MQB, yeah, it's like if it's when you passed by what is it, Fungal Hall B, and you get that second last check and you're like, oh man, if it's not MQB, then it's like I have to find X-Ray then, because your only two checks are OP and PCA. So Yeah, it was
Yeah,
quite a gamble to go down without X-ray, but I think it was the right call, and I would have done it myself, and you were rewarded for it.
Could you have imagined if we had to go clear frigate? Oh god.
that's probably where I would have gone next, but I only know frigate gravityless backwards. I'm not very fluent on the forwards portion of it.
Very
Yeah,
comical, and that would have been required.
I would have done boss. I would have done Flogger and Thardis first. Yeah.
One other point to make: you both found the shiny missile. Congratulations!
Yes, that was a cool. That was a cool missile.
It's my second ever shiny missile. I love seeing those.
That was my first ever.
Yep, shiny missile in a tournament. Quite the spot for it to be.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Wow. Oh man, and because I like just woke up at like 8:15, I like drank my coffee in the morning and my water, and I really had to pee. So like going towards the end of the race, like, all right, I better find this phase on suit real quick, or else I'm gonna have to take a quick break. Yeah, that was rough.
Awesome. Let's see if there are any other comments I've got. Not really. I would say, like, routing wise, you both. I mean, there's not much to compare. You both followed very similar paths, and very well as well. Like you, if it was a combination of yourselves and the mentors that were guiding you, everyone did a really good job. The skill level from each of you was well displayed, hitting some harder tricks and showing off some of the things you probably learned over the past couple weeks. Really good race. I'd recommend watching this one back if you gotta study.
Yeah, that was a good one. Speaking of, I want to shout out my my last second mentor, Soaring Wyvern. The mentor that I scheduled had to step out last minute. I got a message an hour and a half before the race that they wouldn't be able to make it, and so Soaring Wyvern stepped in to mentor me for this race like 10 minutes before it started.
Yeah, it's
So,
awesome.
yeah. Huge shout out. That was really nice.
Okay. Any other final comments? I'll just say to chat, give our runners a follow. Their links are in there. If you got nothing else to say, we can wrap up here, though.
No,
All right. GG's.
Okay, GG's. Good
GG.
luck on the rest of the tournament to both of you.
Right. Thank you.
Here's hoping.
See you next mission.
See you next mission.
See ya.